afternoon. It's December 9th, 2019 today. I'm Steve Stahl and I'm being interviewed by InMaricopa. So I think for us, the biggest challenge regarding growth is a set of expectations that we are, one, trying to address, trying to meet with these citizens, but also trying to educate everyone on what is a realistic goal for us to accomplish together. Especially when a lot of people move to the city of Maricopa and they're not from Arizona or from Maricopa. They come with some preconceived notions. They come with a set of expectations that they're used to in their prior jurisdictions. Those are challenges sometimes to us to educate them on that doesn't apply here in Arizona or doesn't apply here in Maricopa. The most frequent crime is still property crimes, these series of property crimes, thefts, shoplifts, vehicle burglaries, things like that, commercial burglaries, going onto people's property, trespassing, things like that. It's still the #1 thing here in the city of Maricopa. We still have a long way to go to educate the people on how to properly secure their properties, their vehicle, lock the doors, raise the windows. Don't leave anything in your vehicle that you don't want not to be there the next morning. Turn your coach lights on if you're going to park your car in your driveway. Those types of things that help us. Policing a safe community can't be done just by having police officers do everything. It has to be the community working together in concert with the law enforcement officers out there so that we can accomplish the same goal together. I do not believe, as of yet, we've done a sufficient job in educating parents and children about the dangers of vaping. It is deadly, it is serious, and it is still such a new thing that people they haven't had time to listen to or research the scientific studies, and all of the scientific studies say it is a dangerous thing. So those are some of the dangers that I worry about our youth, because it leads to other activities with our youth. Vaping won't give them the sufficient high, so they have to go to a different drug, which may be marijuana. Today's marijuana is nowhere even close to the marijuana concentrations that were out there when I was growing up. It is much stronger, much more dangerous. So still the perception, I just read it in a post over the weekend where someone was talking about, why do you care that a young person or a person is using marijuana? It makes them mellower. And we now know, you can talk to our officers. Marijuana usage does not make a subject mellower. In fact, the concentration levels make them more paranoid, and that means that they're paranoid of even people that they know and they love, much less when they have to talk to a law enforcement officer. Every one of our officers is equipped with an on-body camera. I think it's affecting it greatly for the positive. In fact, if you polled our police officers, if you went out and rode with them on the street, you won't see them go out on the street without their on-body camera. They want to have that protection with them. It serves a couple different purposes. They can use it as a tool to de-escalate an angry or upset person. They can remind that person that they're recording this incident, and that usually calms the situation down. Our officers use it for report writing so that they're able to remember certain details that they might forget, so our report writing is better. And we've heard that both from our city prosecutors and from our county attorneys. And then finally, I think it's a great training tool. Our officers can watch themselves, and our training unit can watch the video and formulate some training scenarios from that video so that we can learn and be better at what we do. And it is left up to the discretion of the officer. Many of the officers have taken the philosophy of as soon as they receive the call for service, they will turn their on-body camera on. There are a lot of people who will call us and say, hey, I saw one of your officers speeding. They didn't have their lights and siren on. If the officers turn the camera on as they're en route to the call, it documents their speed, it documents the radio traffic that is coming across the radio at that time, and it either justifies or it condemns, so to speak, the officer for either not obeying the traffic laws or justifies their having a little expedited response to that call. We're evolving into hopefully a much more efficient police department, and I believe that's what's demanded of the taxpayers right now, is a responsible use of their funding, so that when we ask for more officers, if we need more officers, it is absolutely justified, because we have taken all the steps necessary to ensure that our officers are efficient. Once those steps have all taken, the only recourse left is to add more resources, more officers. Well, I'm going to brag about our Family Advocacy Center first and foremost. They have done a phenomenal job. Mary Witkowski has done a phenomenal job there. They have given service to more than 40 criminal cases already in the short period of time that they've been in existence. Now, that's both a sad thing and a positive thing, because you never want to say, oh, we really need this, you can't do without it. And yet at the same time, if you talk to those victims, most of them children and or their parents, they will agree that that service is absolutely necessary to start rebuilding that child, to start making them whole again from the horrific crime that they have either witnessed or suffered through or anything like that. So Mary has done a great job. All of our community partners have done a great job with it. We keep exploring new ways to deliver service. So one of those ways is the Maricopa Police Department has a DIVERT program. It's Domestic Violence Incident Response Team. And by team, I mean we have one victim advocate who reviews all the cases, and then they will go out the next day to the person's home, to the victim's home, with an officer, and they will ask if there are additional resources that they can give them that, you know, in the heat of the moment when it's really emotional and they're in the middle of that emotional domestic violence situation, decisions aren't necessarily sound decisions by the victim. So if they've had the night to think about it, the day to think about it, there may have been some resources that they have forgotten about that they really want to explore and ask about. So that Domestic Violence Incident Response Team goes out and answers those questions for them, gives them the option of additional resources, makes them know that the police department cares about them, the safety of their future, and what's going to happen in the future, so they do not become a repeat victim of domestic violence, which unfortunately, if you look nationwide, repeat victims of domestic violence progressively get more and more violent all the time. We are very fortunate with diversity amongst our ranks. It's going to take years for us to get the female population in law enforcement where it needs to be. But we are well ahead of other jurisdictions when it comes to a female population. We have approximately 13% female population amongst our ranks in notoriously male-dominated occupations. So we understand that, we recognize that. They are great officers regardless of male or female persuasion. They do a great job. Each and every person, regardless of what their gender is, brings a certain unique talent to this profession that each and every one of them should be proud of. We're doing very well in the African American population. The Latinos within our police force are doing really well, staying right with the population, the demographics within our city, and also Native American. We have 2 Native American officers And that, again, falls right in line with our demographics in our city.